Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. A new day, a new poem. Okay, today we're going to talk about a new day. 明日复明日，明日何其多。Well, it didn't rhyme in this one, so it's not following the exact formula of Chinese poetry rhyming scheme. So this 日 and the 多, the last character, is supposed to rhyme here, but it didn't. Okay, I guess that's accepted as well. That's why the poem is still, even without conforming to the formula, it still survived and still made it into our textbook. And I guess the reason why it became part of the textbook of the classical Chinese poems that every kid has to recite is because of the content, of the sense of time, the precious time. So 明日复明日. Tomorrow day is how Chinese say tomorrow. If you just say 明, it can mean bright, just like what we saw in the moonlight, the bright moonlight poem, right? So when you add a 日, so 日 as human sense of time, the day and the night. This sun, when we see, it's the sun, it's another day. That's how we count calendar day. And when we say 明日, according to the simplified Chinese version, this 明is the sun and the moon, so day, night, and that means one turn around for a whole day, 24 hours. And then that's after you pass through the day and night, then that's the next one. So that's how I guess this is the intervals between 2 days, right? You have to pass through a round of moon at night, the sun in the day. So that's a simplified Chinese version. Versus this 明 in traditional Chinese, it actually means the moon. Okay, shine through the gridded window panes. Ancient window panes is different from the contemporary. We don't have glass, so it's a paper covered. And to prevent paper from being ripped, the grid lines was added. Every household may have their distinctive patterns over there. So it's a whole, art domain. This window pane making. And so the moon passing through the window at night. That's how Chinese define bright. Yeah, when you see light and shadow coexist, that's when you're aware of which side is light. That's when you're aware what it meant to have brightness at night. In the rest of the place, it's dark. But then wherever the moon was able to shine through the window pane, right? You have to have the light through that space. Then you can see the contrast. If it's all bright in the daytime, you don't really have a sense of bright because there's no contrast of shadow to go with it. Okay. Anyways, so this night, moonlight shines through the window panes is a Chinese way to say bright, and it depicting this nighttime, right? And when they say 明日, pair it together is again with these two segments of the day, the nighttime and daytime, together form a 24-hour cycle. And that's how Chinese deduce this means 24 hours later, which is guaranteed to be tomorrow. Okay. So 明日复明日, you see the repeated pattern. And in the middle, this character 复 it means repeat. And I have to come up with some theories. Why does it mean repeat? How, if we mean iterative, right? Repeat something. We have to express it somehow. So on the left side here is our footsteps, the left side of the footsteps. Originally, we have the right side as well, but eventually when it make into be a component of a bigger concept, the right side was omitted. So we only see the left side, guaranteed on the right side. It's a symmetrical, almost a symmetrical, but kind of like that, right? But it was not expressed in here. This means walking. This symbol on the bottom right means walking backwards. So it almost like you're walking forward. This is footstep visually moving from you, close to you, away from you. And this means you're tracking back. The rest of it, one horizontal line with two circles, up for interpretation. But one of the most commonly scholar interpretation is it means fulfillment or goodness or completeness. So you can interpret this one as heaven, right? This is a simplified, the second circle is a simplified farm field or land. And then in the middle is human, one mouse symbol. So human as the producer and the consumer of whatever raised from the land, the food source, right? Under the sky. So this is the outer bound of the environment where humans make a living. So if everything like in the ratio of 1, 1, 1, I mean, one horizontal line in Chinese is 1. So if the ratio is one mouse paired with one farm field, that's enough to feed this person. So that means that's enough to survive. And Chinese use that character paired with, divine decoding practice, which means you try to decode the message from the divine about how you can make just enough. Maybe not just enough. I guess surplus is welcome, but at least to meet the population, have enough food for every mouse on this piece of land. So mouse, land, under the sky, that means it's well balanced. It's food security solved, okay? And what with that paired with this moving forward and backwards, that means, okay, if this year you have your food security solved, given this sky means the weather condition, the environmental, geographical, climate condition, everything, that you have enough food on this piece of land to feed that population, the mouse, you want to repeat that. You want to do that again. So this going forward and backward, doing it again, that become repeat. So it came from feeding humans, solving the hunger problem. And as agrarian society, I guess that's one of the major concerns. So for that society to express the repeat, that means you want to do this again. It's almost like reinforced learning, right? Once you hit it right, you want to repeat the practice. Okay. Again, 明日, tomorrow, 何其多. It's a question. So 明日复明日, that's like a given a statement. So you are going to have tomorrow, repeat tomorrow, means day after day. Tomorrow after tomorrow. Then it's a recurring pattern or iterative pattern. We're going to see the moon, the sun, like almost like repeatedly, right? Repeat itself. And then here is a question to challenge you. 明日何其多, but how many more such tomorrows in reserve for you? When we're especially the beginning end of the life journey, we hardly think about how many are those. Like, what's our lifespan? It's hard to fathom, right? But here, the author invites you to think about that. Because immediate tomorrow seems unexhaustive. You have tomorrow guaranteed. Then there's another tomorrow going to repeat itself. But then the question is how many of such tomorrows are going to have. So 何其多 is this question mark there. And 何其, how such many, is how Chinese express it. 何 is made of this human figure. It's a left side facing human figure. The straight line is the front side of the body. The curved line kind of draping over the straight line is the back side, the whole back torso of your body. And this little tip thing is probably your head, and your head heading toward the left side. Turn out the Chinese regard left side as forward side. If you're walking forward, Chinese will write that person is walking toward the left. Okay, qi is top of the frame, one horizontal line is the heaven. And then we'll have the mouse symbol. And we have this curvature going upward. So the whole thing is painting a picture of a praying humans, mouse, sending the message, which will go up in high heaven, twist and turn like that, going to that horizontal line. So this is humans' effort try to get our message across to the environment, which is the boundary, the constraints we operate in. Basically, it's like each single digit or variable on this operating system trying to talk back to that operating system, tell them, okay, give me favorable conditions next year, right? So that's the prayer. And then we have this human next to that prayer. It's this he. So, okay, this human prayer thing by itself pronounced as ke. So the same vowel sound, but it doesn't only serve as the sound maker, but it's a meaning as well. Because this human prayer behavior means you are allowed, you get a permission to do something. And it's interesting. It's almost like humans, when we send that courteous message upward to the operating system there, or nature, or God, however you want to view the outer condition of our existence. If you do that, we almost assume, since we gave you a notification what we're going to do, then you kind of grant me to do it. So ke, just simply by praying, we're automatically granted as permission. Or it could be ancient times, whoever do this praying practice, it was this especially assigned, special talented humans who claim they can decode whatever the message sent back. So not only they send out a message, but they're also supposed to be able to read the signs and interpret what this outer condition tell you to do. And, as an oracle, right? That's what that is. So this permission plus human figure means that humans, you're allowed to do something. And that eventually become how. How this logic jump there. So I guess how you do it is a human thing, but you can do it. The yes and no is answered. You got permission to do it. And then how you're going to go about it is your human choice, as if we have some options out there, right? So this is how. Qi is the container that contains food, because Chinese is a food obsessed or food centered culture. Lots of icons is made related to our food consumption. So qi is this container made of twigs or branches. I guess it's a rattan. It's called a rattan. That's woven together. It's from organic, right? Made from nature, and most likely from bamboo, because this top drapey leaves are the drapey bamboo leaves, and they always come in clusters, so that a bamboo symbol. So made of bamboo twigs or branches woven together into a container, and that's the container we're going to use to contain food, and that's put on the table. So that food container eventually become the referral of this, because I guess to know where your food is about is critical in ancient times. So when we're saying we're referring to such or this right here, this thing, it's something external of us. but it's so critical to our survival. We have to have a very good idea of where the location is. So whenever we're trying to refer anything external, not self-referral, but the external referral, then we use 期何其多何其 altogether is a question mark of how. And then 期, I guess another way, not only refer as the external thing because it's a container of something, automatically it has this volume to go with it. So 何期 means how many already. And then we add many to after it to make sure 何其多, this 多, this many, this multitudes, to give you, to let you question, to let the reader question how are we going to measure the volume of the number of tomorrow days and the multitudes of that. This 多 is using double moons. So double moon means many days, I guess. Ancient times before the invention of clocks, I guess we have this sundial thing to mark the day. But how are we going to mark the passing of the days? We're going to use night. We're going to observe how many moons. I mean, even in English, contemporary expression will still say many moons away, right? That means many months away because we're probably marking the moon location, like full moon, especially that's easier to tell as the marker of that 1 month, and many moons away. Like we see many months of that moon in that same position away. Or it could be with however shape and fullness or crescent of the moon, we're going to regard it as one night, right? So many of those, many moons away probably means many nights away, or therefore many days away. Okay, so 明日何其多 is a question. So this put people to think, oh, even if immediately we see day after day or tomorrow, and then we're going to have another tomorrow, but then this question puts you to think how many tomorrows of those we're going to get, and to make you realize it's actually finite, even if in relative to you personally, it seems like infinite. But you have seen people before, the end of other people in your life, and then you realize, oh, for you, it's going to apply the same rule. We only have finite days. And so that's the beginning, setting the tone, make you question, make you wonder, and then to have this sense of we really have limited our days or our tomorrows on this planet is numbered. All right, see you tomorrow. Let's unpack next. Thank you for your time,